So I want to start this off by saying that I am making this video as if you were my friend. And I feel like I've made a lot of videos, or all of my videos in the past, talking to people like they were my best friend, my sister, my brother, a close family member. I don't want to ever speak down to you. And I think a lot of what I'm about to say in this video, I could be saying it into a mirror because I'm guilty of a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about. But at the end of the day, I just want people to be better, not only with photography, but just better all around individuals. And I've said this in the past, I'm never trying to sell you anything. I'm never trying to sell you a course. I don't want you to be pointed towards my sponsorship. I'm simply just saying things that I hope will help you push yourself and get better at photography and be more well-rounded. It's like that scene in Good Will Hunting where Chucky is talking to Will at the construction site, and he's saying that the best part of his day is when he goes up and knocks on the door. He's wanting Will to not be there because he sees all this potential in Will, and he knows that he should not be working a construction job. And I'm saying that to you because I know that you should not be doing a lot of the things that you're doing, but you do it because it's easy. And I do those things because it's easy. And at the end of the day, I'm not trying to get as many views as possible. I'm not trying to get as many butts and seats as possible. It's about what I do with the people that decide to sit down with me. And I did not say that, but Ethan Hawke said it, and you should listen to him because he's smart. The first thing that I want to talk about is simply not challenging yourself. And I see this all the time with photographers, and they might come to me for advice, and I just simply tell them, it's like, you have to do the thing that you're trying to accomplish. And I always bring it back to this weight loss analogy because when I was 16 years old, I was close to 300 pounds. And I got on the internet, I was watching YouTube videos on how to lose weight, I was watching people work out, I was listening to all the nutrition experts on how to do it. But at the end of the day, I'm just sitting there watching people do it. And I'm sitting there watching people or listening to people tell me what to do, and I'm not doing the thing that I need to be doing. I didn't accomplish anything, and I didn't get anything done until I stopped eating less and went for a run. And that's when I started to see results. It's the same thing with photography. You can sit there all day and listen to people, but if you're not challenging yourself and you're not pushing yourself, you're not going to learn anything. This is probably the one that I'm most guilty of, is limiting the useless, brain dead, brain rotting stuff that you look at on a daily basis. Everyone's guilty of this. It doesn't matter what age you are. It's not a millennial thing. It's not a Gen Z thing. It's not a boomer thing. Everyone gets hooked into this because it's a human thing. And social media knows this. Everyone running these major corporations knows how to get you hooked in. And it's just because you're a human. And it preys on your insecurities, it preys on your fears. And at the end of the day, you might be spending 6-7 hours looking at social media. And if you calculate that and spread it out over a year, that's 80 or 90 days you're looking down at your phone. Think about all of the things you could be doing aside from that. You could be out photographing something that you've never seen before. You could be making something. You could be reading a book. You could be learning something new about yourself. The list goes on and on. And while you can learn things from this short form content and all these reels and TikToks, 99% of it is useless stuff just meant to keep you there. It steals your attention. And at the end of the day, that's pretty much all that you got. So you need to be better about limiting that and doing your best to use it as a tool, get in, get out, and then move on with your day. I am all for staying informed, but what has happened recently in the news, or any other news that has happened over the past 1,000 years, it's pretty much the same shit that everyone's been talking about. Rich people want more money, powerful people want more power, countries are at war. I feel like you would be a lot better off if you just sat down and read a history book instead of ingesting the news 24/7. The news, just like social media, is meant to scare you, and it's meant to make you fearful, because that drives views and it drives revenue. It's the same thing with clickbait, and it's the same thing with rage bait. When someone posts something that's clickbait, it's more likely to get attention. If someone posts something saying digital's better than film or film's better than digital, it's rage bait, and it's more likely to get attention compared to positive news. If I were to watch the local St. Louis news, I would have never stepped out my door in order to start working on the St. Louis project. Because if you turn on the news every day, it's murder, robbery, arson, assault. You would think the world was on fire if you watched the local news. And that's exactly the way that they want it, because they want you glued to the TV in order for them to make advertising money. So what I would suggest is read more history books, you'll learn a lot more, and simply get your news from a trusted source that's maybe a nonprofit like ProPublica that doesn't feed on your fear and your insecurities, and it's not meant to just make revenue. This is probably the point that I want to drive home the most, because a lot of young photographers and a lot of older photographers that I talk to, they simply do not interact with people that they don't know. They don't take photos of strangers. They don't converse with strangers. They just don't get out into the world. And to me, that's where I learn the most about myself and about my photography, is when I have conversations with people that are different than me. I learn that a lot on assignments that I do, because I'm meeting people from different backgrounds. And the thing nowadays with social media is that there is no nuance on social media. It's either you're in this camp or you're in this camp. And it creates this extreme division among people. But the thing that you quickly realize when you go out into the world and you're talking with people that are just everyday people, you have a lot more in common with them than you think. And when you do have these conversations, sure, someone might have a different opinion than you. Someone might lean a certain way, left or right, or what have you. But people just want to be decent human beings, the majority of them. And I think that's what you learn when you actually step out into the world and get out of your little echo chamber that you make on social media. And the same thing goes with the content and the videos that you ingest. You might be watching a specific thing and all of the comments are the same opinion. It's just an echo chamber. You need to get out of that. You need to step out into the world, talk to people, get some different opinions, and then you can formulate your own ideas on things. And not only that, but you can use that information to inform your photography and to inform the projects and the series of photos that you work on in the future. And then the last thing that I want to say is that you need to be vigilant about taking advice from people who are in a position that you want to be in. If that's me, awesome. You can listen to me. You can take advice from me. If it's Peter McKinnon and you want to be in his position, listen to Peter McKinnon. Like, I'm not trying to gatekeep how you get your information or who you listen to, but you should not be listening to random people online that might comment on your shit and tell you that you suck, because they're hiding behind a username and you have no idea who they are. Also, you need to seek critique and advice and feedback from people that actually care about you and care about your work. Because in a real critique and in a real feedback scenario, no one is putting you down to try to make themselves feel better. They might say that you suck. They might say that your photos are bad, but they're going to give you advice on how to get better. And they're not going to do it in a demeaning way, and they're not going to do it in a rude way. They want to see you get better, just like I want to see everyone watching this video get better. And like I said in the beginning, it's not about strictly photography. It's just about being a well-rounded individual. And that's all I want out of people that watch this channel. And if you leave with something great, if you leave with nothing, that's fine too. But I just want to put it out there for people to potentially learn something. And if I was a young photographer, or if this was me 6 years ago when I was just starting my channel, this is the type of video that I would want to see. I don't want to be sold something, and I don't want to be told to buy this or buy that. I just want to be told straight up facts, just like a friend would tell something to a friend. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want to support the channel, I am on Patreon. I also have some prints in the description if you want to do it that way. But thanks for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.